The wait is almost over, and the stage is set for one of the biggest battles in world rugby. When the Springboks walk into Johannesburg next weekend to face the All Blacks, every selection will carry enormous pressure, and every decision made by Rassie Erasmus could shape the opening chapter of a series that promises to be unforgettable. This is not an ordinary test match. It is a clash between two of rugby's greatest powers, two nations with a combined history of World Cup success, and two teams that understand exactly what this rivalry means. The big question now is simple: what will Rassie Erasmus do with his starting 15? The Springboks coach has built a reputation for surprising opponents, rotating players, changing combinations, and making bold tactical calls when nobody expects them. His so-called maverick tendencies are part of what makes him so difficult to predict. But with the All Blacks arriving for such an important series, the expectation is that Erasmus will resist the temptation to overthink the opening test and instead select a side packed with experience, physicality, and proven big game quality. At fullback, Damian Willemse looks set to receive the call. His performances during the Nations Championship strengthened his position as South Africa's preferred option at number 15, particularly with his ability under the high ball and his confidence when attacking from deep. Against England, he showed exactly why he is trusted in major matches, controlling the aerial contest and bringing calmness to a position where one mistake can completely change the momentum of a test. Afilil Fassi was unable to produce the same impact against Argentina, and that may have made the decision even easier for Erasmus. On the right wing, there is another name that feels almost impossible to leave out: Cheslin Kolbe. Few players in world rugby can create something from nothing quite like Kolbe, and despite his size, he has become a powerful presence in the air, an intelligent defender, and one of the most dangerous attacking players available to the Springboks. There is always a possibility that Erasmus could shock everyone with an unexpected selection, but for the opening test, experience should win the argument. In the midfield, Kriel and Damian de Allende remain one of the most trusted combinations in international rugby. Kriel may not produce the explosive attacking moments he once did as regularly, but his defensive intelligence, positioning, communication, and leadership make him incredibly valuable against a dangerous All Blacks backline. Beside him, Damian de Allende continues to provide the physical presence and attacking balance that have made the partnership so effective. Even as he approaches his mid-30s, de Allende remains capable of breaking defensive lines, winning difficult collisions, and creating opportunities with a passing game that does not always receive enough attention. His individual battle with Jordie Barrett could become one of the defining contests of the series. On the left wing, Kurtley Arends appears to be another strong selection. His test-level try-scoring record speaks for itself, but his value goes beyond finishing opportunities. Arends brings energy, confidence, and a willingness to attack space whenever it appears. Ethan Hooker has shown plenty of promise and produced memorable moments against the All Blacks previously, but recent injury concerns could make his selection more difficult. Then comes perhaps the most fascinating selection battle of the entire team: fly-half. The Springboks have several options, and each one offers something different. Sasha Feinberg-Mngomezulu is arguably the most naturally gifted of the group, while Handré Pollard brings an extraordinary level of reliability when matches become tense and every kick matters. But Manie Libbok has a unique connection with this particular opponent. He played a key role in major victories over the All Blacks, including the 2023 Rugby World Cup warm-up victory and the triumph in Wellington last year. His ability to attack from wider positions and keep defenders guessing makes him a fascinating option for Erasmus. With Feinberg-Mngomezulu struggling to find his best rhythm against Los Pumas, Libbok could have a genuine opportunity to reclaim the number 10 jersey for this massive occasion. At scrum-half, Cobus Reinach is another experienced operator who could get the nod. There are other quality options available, including Grant Williams, but when the pressure rises, Reinach has repeatedly shown that he can manage the tempo and make smart decisions around the breakdown. His performance against Argentina was not perfect, but one difficult outing is unlikely to erase years of trust. At number 8, the selection picture appears clearer. Jasper Wiese is expected to start after Erasmus made it clear that he remains the first-choice option in the position. The emergence of Cameron Haincombe has created excitement, particularly after his excellent performance in South America, but Erasmus has been consistent about his faith in Wiese. Against the All Blacks, that experience and physical presence could prove crucial in the battle for control at the base of the scrum. At open side flanker, the leadership question becomes just as important as the rugby itself. Pieter-Steph du Toit is expected to start, and with Siya Kolisi potentially unavailable, he could also wear the captain's armband. Managing Du Toit will be important over the long term, especially with the 2027 Rugby World Cup approaching, but this is exactly the type of occasion where the Springboks will want their most dependable performers on the field. His work rate, defensive ability, discipline, and understanding of the game make him one of the most important pieces in the South African system. And that is what makes this predicted team so interesting. It is not simply about selecting the biggest names. It is about finding the right balance between experience and attacking freedom, between physical pressure and tactical control, and between the proven stars and the emerging players waiting for their moment. Rassie Erasmus has never been afraid to make a surprising decision, and that is why nobody can completely rule out a late twist. But when the Springboks face the All Blacks in Johannesburg, the safest prediction is that Erasmus will trust the players who have already proven they can survive the pressure of the biggest stage. The opening test could be a battle of inches, decisions, and moments. One kick could change the scoreboard. One turnover could change the momentum. One defensive stand could lift an entire stadium. And when the noise rises in Johannesburg, the Springboks will need every ounce of experience they can find. The All Blacks will arrive with their own ambitions, their own weapons, and their own belief that they can strike first. But South Africa will know that the opening test is more than just 90 minutes of rugby. It is the first statement in a rivalry that demands courage, discipline, and absolute belief. Erasmus has the difficult job of choosing the combination that can deliver that statement. If this predicted lineup is close to the final selection, the message will be clear: no experiments, no unnecessary risks, and no fear of the challenge. Just a powerful group of proven performers, backed by a bench that could become one of the most important parts of the entire contest. Because in a series this intense, the starting 15 may begin the battle, but the replacements can finish it. And that is where Rassie Erasmus could still unleash one of his boldest decisions. The Springboks know exactly what is waiting for them. The All Blacks know exactly what is coming. Johannesburg is ready. The rivalry is ready. And now, the only thing left is to find out which team can handle the pressure when the whistle finally blows.